Right, hello, it's me again. It's currently an hour later after the last video that I recorded. It's now midnight, technically on the 20th of May 2022, and technically the day after, or just a few hours after the Fenix Airbus A320. I said Airbus A380 in my last video. Airbus A320 has released for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I decided straight away that I would make another video to help people who might be getting confused with an issue to do with the rudder pedals and the control bindings. So by default, a lot of people in Microsoft Flight Simulator will use rudder pedals and just have it set as a rudder axis. So if we go into my control options page here in MSFS and we scroll across to my Thrustmaster T pendular rudders, you can see that I've got primary flight controls and rudder axis, and they are reversed for me. Okay, and as I'm moving them left and right, you can see they're moving accordingly. That's all I've got set. Now, if we go into the Fenix A320, by default, if we move them, you will notice something. You will notice that our rudder pedals are moving, but you'll notice that this black thing here is also moving, and this is the tiller control for taxiing on the ground. Now, you do not want these moving at the same time. The reason being is that if you do that, you might not notice any issues with it until you come to landing. When you land the aircraft, what you will find is that whilst you have your main landing gear on the ground, you will have no rudder authority. That means you can't yaw the aircraft left and right to correct yourself in a crosswind or anything until you set the nose gear on the ground. So I've done it in beta testing, and I was like, what the hell's going on? Why do I not have rudder authority? And it is because of this issue. So there is two ways to fix this. The first way I'm going to show is for those of you, as I say, who are just using the rudder axis in the controls options. It's super simple what you need to do. You need to come down to the lovely EFB developed by Katie and the Fenix team here, and you need to go into the Fenix app. Then you need to go to Sim Settings, and then you need to go into Controls. And all you need to do is simply click the PED Disc Tiller option. Select that in green. And now if we go back to our pilot's view, you'll see that if I move my rudder pedals, as you can see, the rudders on the aircraft are moving, but my tiller is now not moving. If I now wanted to use the tiller to taxi around the airport, I simply click Pedal Disconnect. And as you can see, I can now move my rudder pedals, and it's moving left and right, and my rudder pedals are stationary. And this is what would happen in the real world aircraft. So let's say we've pushed back from stand and we've been cleared for taxi, and we need to taxi around the airport, keep it in a straight line for a bit as we go down a taxiway. Oh, we've got a left turn coming up, so I'll move my left rudder pedal forward, and then we straighten up again. And eventually, once we're lined up on the runway and we're just about to take off, we would click this pedal disconnect switch, and then we would have rudder control for the takeoff roll and for the flight. Once we then land at our arrival airport and we've rolled out and we've slowed the aircraft down and we're through, I don't know, maybe 30 to 40 knots, and we're ready to start thinking about vacating the runway, we then click this button again to ensure that we can use the tiller and safely vacate the runway and taxi to our stand. So that's what you need to do if you are just using the rudder axis. That is really important. If you are not, there is actually an option within Microsoft Flight Simulator where you can have a separate tiller axis. So let's say, for example, I'm using the Thrustmaster TCA Airbus joystick, and that actually has what I call a twisty joystick, so I can move it left and right in a twisting motion. Or if you've got another piece of hardware that you'd like to use for your tiller, what you then need to do is you need to go into your MSFS control option settings, and as you would kind of expect, you need to go and set that up. So I think it's called tiller. I can't remember where it is, to be honest with you, because as I say, I've not actually made one myself. I've not bothered. But I believe you can set your own tiller axis in there. So you can have a separate tiller axis, which will just control the tiller. Sorry, let me click the button. The tiller. And then obviously you would have your rudder pedals just to control, well, the rudder pedals. Okay. If you do have a separate axis for the tiller, then as you would expect, you need to go to the EFB and have that PED disconnect tiller option deselected. All right, but I think the vast majority of people in flight simulation will just have a rudder axis set, not a separate tiller axis. And so to keep it TLDR very short, if you do just use the rudder axis, tick tick that option in the EFB. Make sure that when you're on the runway and in the air that you use your rudder pedals, and when you're taxiing around the airport, vacating and lining up on a runway, you're using the tiller down there in the bottom left-hand corner. All right, another quick video. I really hope this one is helpful for you all and gives you more of an idea of how to correctly operate this aircraft. Please leave a comment if you did enjoy. Let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this. I really hope they help. I'm sorry that it's quite a rushed thing that I've made, but I hope you all enjoy it anyway. Thanks for watching.